everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the vlog. So if you could recall, last week I said that we probably wouldn't be having a vlog this week, but here we are with a vlog. Managed to find some time to do this week's video. So this week we will be dealing with the locks in the car. I think I may have solved, well, we've got a workaround for the radiator fan. You'll see that in a second. So, but before we go into that, let's deal with the elephant in the room. Man, the internet has spoken. You don't like my wheels on my car, do you? Just looking by the comments down below and looking at the comments on the screen, I would say the vast majority of you didn't like the wheels. So my heart's bleeding. I am really hurt. Actually, to be fair, I don't like the colour either. It was kind of Marmite, and when I fitted it on the car, I thought, yeah, nah, didn't like it at all. Damn! A couple of my friends, they love it. They think it's great, but I don't like the colour. I have to agree with you guys. I think the wheels are okay, the way the wheels look, but they're just in the wrong colour. So I'm going to change the colour, but give me some suggestions. What colour you think I should paint those wheels? You know, it'd be a shame to paint them silver, which is what the current, you know, what they normally do on those cars, silver. Maybe a grey, but let me know what you think in the comments down below. Anyway, let's get on to the vlog. Okay, so we got ourselves a new heater control that's come in. It is a pattern part, but it's from a reputable place and not Eurocar parts. So let's go and fit this, see if it fixes our problem. If it does, we can move on to fitting the bumper. Alright, okay, so just to remind ourselves, fitting this should be pretty straightforward. We're just going to connect her up to this and this, so these two connects down here, and then we'll test it to see if it works. Simple as that, really. So give us a couple of minutes, and then we'll go over into ignition and see if the fans come on.
Many tic-tacs later.
Right, so we've put the new controller in, and I've temporarily put the battery in place, and unfortunately we still got the problem. If I put this fuse back in, you can see the fans spinning up and reeling up to speed. I'll take the fuse out and she goes, which tells me that we've got a broken circuit somewhere. So I've run VCDS, and it can't find any errors. So that red one I'll show you on screen there is just my the fact that it's got no AC, no gas in there, and there's another one there which is for the horn alarm, and that's connected to the central lock-in. So that again, and probably there's a fault with the alarm, the horn, which is in the rear pod light. But other than that, we've got no other errors. Everything else is fine on there. So on this level of CAN bus, this is not CAN bus 2, this is CAN bus 1, which means that it doesn't monitor as many systems. So VCDS won't pick up if there's a problem with the cabling. The fan will just run at full hilt. That's the default if it can't sense a control cable, I think it is. So what I'm going to have to do is get under the car and test those cables to see if there's power coming through, which is a real nightmare, but it's got to be done if we're going to fix it. Now, something tells me that this is a long-term problem and that someone bypassed the cabling on the car, because I don't recall the fan ever running in this car, and the car did run slightly hot in the summer. Not hot that it boiled over, it certainly didn't do that, but I think that looking at the cables, they look like it's been taped up. So that tells me that there's been a problem in this before. Anyway, I'm going to investigate this further, see what I can find, and then I'll come back to you. So the fans are still running, but I've noticed that after 10 minutes they do switch off. So I'm just going to time this now. So this has been running for about 3 minutes. Let's see if it does cut off. If it does cut off after about 5 or 10 minutes, then that's okay in my book, because my S3 does the same. I've checked all the wiring. The wiring seems fine. I sense that this has been a problem in this car before, because the control wire, that it has been cut, because they were obviously testing to see if the connector, a bit like what I had in the S3, if the connector works. But anyway, it's been 3 minutes. We'll come back in a minute, or at least 5 minutes, and see if it's still running.
Moments later.
And there you go, exactly 10 minutes, and then it's cutting off. So, do you know what? On that basis, we're going to reassemble the front end. Now, it could be the fact that the AC, there's no AC coolant in there, so I don't know, but it's cutting off after 10 minutes, and it's staying off. So, okay, that's it. We'll put the front end on. Let's do that now. Okay, so we've got the front end back on, and what I've done, I've put these plastic grills back in. These are like the you know, the covers to cover all the gubbins underneath and to give it a nicer, neater appearance. They're just resting. And the reason why I've put them in is because I'm thinking of overlaying these with carbon fiber. Now, I know that that doesn't add value to the car, but what it does do is add appeal. And I've done it before. I did it on my I had a Z4, and I actually did the brushed aluminium, and I covered it with carbon fiber. And do you know what? It looked really good. And I'm not talking about the carbon fiber wrap. I'm talking about carbon fiber overlay with fiberglass, etc. It just finishes it all off really nicely. And I've seen it on a few TTs, and it really does look the part. Or do I just give these like a paint with plastic lacquer to bring them up new? What do you think? Put it in the comments down below. I'm in two minds. It would be a bit of a blingy thing, and it's more of a content thing rather than adding value to the car. But it's just one of those things that when you open the bonnet, it should be a bit of a wow factor, because people often look under bonnets in a car and they see a dirty engine. Here we're trying to represent that this car's being looked after, which it has been by me, yours truly. But you know, also to give it that appeal. And one of my subscribers, he sent me a picture of his TT. He's dressed up his engine, and he's done something that I was considering doing, and that is to gold wrap the induction pipe. And on his car, it looked fantastic. It really did. I wish I had a picture to show you, but I'm considering doing that, because again, the gold wrap for these are not that much, and this charge pipe here does get hot, and the gold wrap will keep it nice and cool. So again, in the comments, what do you think? Should we gold wrap this? Again, yes, I know, additional cost, but we're talking about £8.50 to make an engine look really nice. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. Anyway, let's get this car down and let's get it moving. Okay, time to get this car out. It's been such a long time since I've seen this car down. It just seems like it's scraping on the floor. It's been up so long. Right, let's get it out. Let's see how she moves.
More moments later.
Now, here's a sight I've not seen in a while. No, I'm not talking about the mess. Excuse that. Don't look at that. I'm talking about this. Look. No car in the garage. It's been over a year since I've had no car in the garage, and that's because the TT is now outside. So started, drove, no problem, no sticking brakes or anything, so we now just got to get on and fix it. Okay, so let's talk about the door card now. So removing these actually not too bad. It's quite simple. It's literally remove this cap. There's a little pin underneath here that you put a pointer in. That then releases this here, and then there's a little T30 Torx. Unscrew that, and then literally it just, the whole thing lifts away. You'll see me do that. And of course down the end you've got these little rubber caps that need to come off as well, so one at this end and one at that end too. So let's do that, get this door card off, and then we'll get this lock off, which is held in just by 2 bolts. So let's get that sorted. Right, so we're in the garage because the rain has come, and we'll do this in the dry. Right, so to release the door locking mechanism, you need an 8mm spline, which we have here somewhere around. Oh, here we go. 8mm spline. So you just got 2 bolts here, one here, one here. Undo those, and then you should be able to come through. Now I've taken this off with a pick, so basically it's just a little plastic grommet that holds this. This is a shield that stops the mechanism from being wet. It's probably a modification after these went wrong in the early TTs. So once you take that away, you should be able to access this, but I'll show you in a second. Let me just unloosen this. I'll do that off camera, and then we'll go to the next stage. Right, so we finally got the micro switch, the door hinge off after fighting. It's not difficult, you just need to take off it's basically this clip in here. The way it goes, you've got to get the wire at a certain angle. Right, so let me show you micro switches now. So here, hopefully you can see it just inside there. Let's see if we can get you in closer. There is a little ball switch. I might just point up on the screen, but it's really difficult to try and show you with it. I'm trying to get a torch on there. Right, so hopefully you can see that. There's a little, just inside there, you'll see a ball, and then you'll see a switch. Okay, and basically it's a plastic micro switch, and it just wears out because there's a little roller that rolls in. Now the modified one, this is a new one, and what they've done is they put a bit of metal. Hopefully you can just see just in there where my finger's pointing. If I point there, you'll see a bit of metal, and that bit of metal basically sits between the roller and the switch, and that makes a big difference. That stops the switch from wearing. So this new one shouldn't wear at all. So let's get that fitted in the car. Fitting is a reversal of removal, obviously, and then when we connect the power back in here, we should see that window drop. So when we get to that stage, I'll bring you back in the frame. Right, so we've got our new lock in place. I haven't put the shield in yet, just want to test the window. So what should happen when we plug in, hopefully this window should drop. So we'll get this switch down here, we'll get it ready to plug in, and then we'll see what happens. Let's see if this window drops when she plugs in, if we can get it plugged in. These things never go on easy, do they? There you go. Right. Let's try you again. This is when we find out that this is the wrong controller. Bear with me. Right, so after all of that, it's the wrong part. This does not fit, so I'm gonna have to get the right part. I'll tell you what, with that car, it's 2 steps forward, or 1 step forward and 2 steps back, but we're going to get there. We'll get that door lock resolved, and we'll get that fixed. Next week we're going to be sending my dash pod off to get repaired, because I need to repair the heater dial and the fuel gauge, and getting the fuel gauge checked, the heater gauge replaced, because it goes straight into the middle and it shouldn't do. And what else are we going to be doing on that car once we get that back, the dash pod, etc. Yeah, and we'll fit the that door lock once it comes. Hopefully it'll be the right one this time, and then we'll take the car for a run. Because we're yes, then we've got the seat to do. Yes, so once we get the dashboard back, we'll be doing the seat and the radio. So we've got a couple of things that need to be done on the car that's going to enhance it, and then we'll be finishing that project off, and then the car will be ready for sale. Oh, and the painting as well. Yeah, so there's a few things to do. Anyway, enough ranting. Now, I've been doing YouTube now for about 4 years, and every time we get to like a 10-20,000 milestone, it's quite a momentous moment. We are very close to be getting to 30k. I think we're about 2.5 or 1,500 off being having 30k, and I'm gonna do something special for this one. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have a bit of a giveaway. So this here is a Foxwell scanner. Foxwell, very good diagnostic tool makers, and if you could recall, I tested this bad boy off. This is the NT706. Now, valued about £200. It is a pretty good scanner. It runs on it's an Android based system, but it covers quite a few cars and makes. I'm gonna be giving this away, and to qualify for this, all you need to be is a subscriber. So if you're not a subscriber, and 70% of you are not, why you're not, click on the button now and you can join the other 28k who will have an opportunity to win this. So the minute we hit 30k, we will then give this away free, and all we have to do is be a subscriber. So click away now, become a subscriber, and then we'll be able to give that away. And it comes with full instructions, and it's a really good bit of kit actually. I've used it a few times now, very comprehensive, and there's quite a few features on there as well. If you haven't seen my video, have a look down there or there, you'll see the review of it as well. Good. Okay, so again, subscribe. Click on the subscribe button if you are a casual viewer. Click on the bell notification if you are a regular subscriber, so you'll get notified whenever we release a new video. We'll be back next week with some more shenanigans on the Audi TT. In the meantime, have a great week, and we'll see you on the next one.